Greetings, everyone. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber and a long-time viewer, I just want to say thank you for your support. In today's episode, we continue to assess, analyze, and critique some of the things that's going on in the island nation of Jamaica. As a Jamaican citizen, I also want to take time to not just contribute to my country in a positive way, but to help the people of my country to understand themselves as we navigate our way in this new world, because it is a new world. Okay, the picture you're seeing here is with Coco Girl. I want you to pay careful attention to the placement of her hand, because we're going to discuss this in this video, what it means for us to protect our offspring. And I'm being very meticulous in the way I use certain words here. I want us to be very careful about how we protect our families, the young ones, especially minors. It's time for Jamaicans to be more careful about what they expose their offspring to or who they expose their offspring to. Okay, it's very important. And coming up, you're going to see some scripture that we're going to examine. But before we do that, I want you to take a look at this thing that is being worn, a necklace that is been worn by Coco Girl. Very important for us to be able to look at these. In this time, we don't only have to be critically aware or be able to critically analyze things, but we need the spiritual discernment. And they have removed us from our true power and gave us something that has left us dormant. And it's time for us to awaken that powerful state of our being, that is our spiritual self. Because in this time, if you don't have the spirit of discernment, you're going to be subject to all kinds of things. This is a stone. And in another video, because I don't want to make this too long, I'm going to talk about the stone. So what this tells me as a person who's very spiritual is that Coco Girl isn't just some little stranger, little tourist. This woman is heavily involved in spiritual things. And I'm not going to define this too much right now. But here she has her protective amulet. This is an amulet. And so when she holds that child in the way she has, myself as a spiritual person understand that. And we're going to not just, think about it on the superficial level. We're going to assess it. We're going to look at scriptures that tell you exactly the importance of protecting one's head or one's crown. There are so many of our loved ones, our young ones running around, and people are coming and, extracting their energy. It is the youngest among us who are pure, and those who are deeply spiritual will understand this. Now, here's the scripture. Here's what it says. It says, what does head signify in the Bible? The head is the topmost part of the body where symbols of power, authority, and honor were displayed. Kings and priests were anointed on their heads, and this is where the crown, listen carefully, this is where the crown, what we call crown, or what we're told is crown, is looking at a piece of metal on somebody's head, but it is not a piece of metal. That is where your crown is. And it's, some people from, for example, India, they talk to you about the crown chakra. That is sacred. That's a sacred part of your temple. And we don't just allow any and everybody to touch our crown. And so when you see this minor being held this way and her crown touched, somebody takes her energy on their head, the crown on their head. And this is where their crowns were placed. So First Samuel, and go back, pause the video and look at all those different scriptures. And I also want to talk about the relationship between our governments and some of the things that are happening in Jamaica that seems like coincidence, but they are not. In this article, we're told that an undisclosed Israeli firm won a contract last year to provide cybersecurity equipment to the government. National Security Minister of Horace Chang has confirmed without giving further notice. So, Jamaica government has a signed contract with Israel to provide them with cybersecurity equipments. And of course, these words are just vague. So when you see the upsurge of individuals in Jamaica suddenly vlogging, we know there's a lot more going on. Now, I did not make this connection, guys, at first, but Spirit is going to always come and help to connect the dots. And so please understand that when we are here saying, why are these individuals here taking disadvantage of our people? Please understand that there's always a method to the madness. And nothing you see occur on that physical level, is without explanation on the spiritual level. Okay, this is another article, and you can read that, pause and read it. Now, what I want to say to you is it's time to open your eyes. There are two groups of people in Jamaica who are under surveillance and who have caught the attention of foreigners. Number one is the Rastafarians, and I'm going to explain why they are this commodity that is always well sought after. But also, if you want to do a subsect from that, is men, Jamaican men, well sought after. And, keep in mind as you see these topics, the secret of Jamaican men, secret, secret, secret. So there are secrets that we hold and we don't know the value of these secrets. So people want to get to know Rastafarians, not because they care for you, but because they know that you carry power. And Jamaican men are well sought after for one particular reason or several. But also, we're also seeing that people are interested to get inside the ghettos of Jamaica and to get to know these individuals. And it's not just because they're just fascinated with you. It's because you represent that section of Jamaica that people are concerned about. You are the ones who will offer the resistance when the time comes. And so if they can find the strongholds and if they can find the secrets, not of Jamaica, but of Jamaican people and in particular Jamaican men. And when you look here, you see there's a topic that just went by that's talking about Congolese men. Individuals are always obsessed with our men, and unfortunately our men are so enamored with these women of other races that they fail to see that they're just aligning themselves to rob you of your power. So when you have persons coming to say, I want to get into the ghetto, and slow down this video and look at some of those topics. I want to get into the ghetto. I want to meet the leader. What are you talking about? And these hardcore men fail to see that when you have a complete stranger from a different country, a different ethnicity, finding his or her way in your community, what are you thinking it's about? It is fact finding, it's information gathering, it's to get close to you. Once they can read you and understand your movements, they can conquer you. Now, this is not against this young lady, Coco Girl. I'm just using her videos and her titles to say to my Jamaican people, be aware. And don't take everything for granted. You see the articles that I posted earlier in this video, and you're seeing that they all of a sudden you got Coco Boy and you have Coco Girl in Jamaica, and they are from this country where our government has signed an agreement, or they received the contract to provide us with cyber security. Why do we need cybersecurity? And why does it have to come from this part or these parts of the world? And I, as a layperson, has no problem because I cannot provide them with any kind of security. They have the right to sign an agreement with anybody they choose. I'm just saying, does the Jamaican people, are they fully aware of this? So me, as a Jamaican who lives outside of Jamaica, all of a sudden saw these individuals going about, saw Coco Girl, going to the police station without proper attire. Jamaican citizens cannot go in a police station with a sleeveless. You cannot. And she went into the police station with her camera to report that she's there, and she's asking if she could sleep. Not asking, she's telling them she's going to sleep in the police station because, she's homeless. That is the story we're told. And so she's going to sleep in the police station. And we know when you go through customs, you have to tell customs what you're in Jamaica for, why you're there, how long you're going to stay, and they need to see a return ticket that you're leaving. Okay? And so this young lady would have made her claims at customs, and yet she's in Jamaica, and she clearly shows you that she's driving around and she's homeless. So if you think she's homeless, if you think that she's just staying in her car, then you're not going to pay attention to her. So she goes from all these different areas to gather her intel, and you'll never suspect her one way or the other. But there's so much more going on there. So she's not just gathering what she needs to gather, whomever she's working for. I don't know. I'm just putting my coins together and trying to see if I can make sense of it. Okay? So what I'm saying here, these are assumptions. Okay? But it's for you to open your eyes and to critically be aware of your surrounding and your environment. But more than anything else, as I see her touch this child in this way, I cringe. And I'm saying, so many times we hear of these unfortunate events or situation in our country. So many times I have said on my platform that we are assuming that a lot of time when these terrible things happen to minors or to women, we assume that it's the people who live there that's doing that. When it's a global economy now, ships come in every day and leave. People come in and leave the same day. And we hear, police tell you that a lot of these things that are happening in Jamaica are happening by people who just come to the island and leave. You see that story with the government official who is baby mom and her offspring was deleted. So we can't live with the same mindset that, oh, we can just trust people that we don't know. And we are afraid and only afraid of our own people. The things that Coco Girl is able to do, another typical Jamaican would not be able to do. And you have to start not faulting her. You have to start looking at the people in Jamaica that are allowing these things to happen. There's no sacred space, as I said before. There's nothing that is something important to us, valuable, that we're not prepared to open up and show the world. The purpose of this video is to get you to critically think and to critically analyze some of the things that you're seeing that does not make sense, and to understand that nothing happens in Jamaica by coincidence. And we're busy looking at, they give us blinders and they distract us with all these kinds of story. And while we're looking at these things, we're failing to see the thing right in front of your face. Okay, watch the trend and also watch the situation closely. Whenever you see anyone doing something that a typical Jamaican would not be able to do and gets away with it, you know that there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. I'm going to end this video soon, and I'm going to say to those of you who are listening to me and watching, I'm saying, be vigilant, be hypersensitive, be careful who you are entertaining, be careful of the stories that you're sharing. Some of these men, that are going around with Coco Girl, they're too ready to open their mouth and tell too many secrets. That's why most of her topics, and for those who are hiring her or involved with her being in Jamaica or her purpose for being there, I don't know. But I'm just saying, if I hired somebody to these certain types of work for me and they're doing this, it's so clear. The majority, so much of the topics are titled secret. This person doesn't want to just come and enjoy the beautiful country like some of these Jamaicans are trying to tell me, and I should celebrate. But they're there to absorb energy, not transfer energy from themselves, but to take, not just financial, spiritual, okay? And by the time they leave, when things start happening, people don't make the connection. You're not able to make the connection because guess what? There was no discernment and no one told you. Those who saw stayed quiet. So again, I want you to know, I am not trying to single out this young lady. I just use her as a reference frame to talk about the things that I'm observing in our island. If we don't protect what is ours, if we don't protect our families, if we don't protect our sacred spaces, and if we don't protect our physical being, do not let people put their hand in your head or in the head of the youths. If you look at that picture, under it, she says, God bless me. Coco Girl said, I'm a witch. I bet you didn't hear that. And why should God bless her? Or why is she saying she's blessed? Because of the opportunity she had to hold this minor. Listen, Jamaica, are you seeing this and are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. But this is going to be hard for some people because a lot of the Jamaicans feel that their God comes from Jerusalem, which is in Israel. So if you believe your God comes from there, when she comes, she's going to be a physical manifestation of that. And they'll never be able to see it. They'll never be able to understand it. And in her own words, she touches her skin and she says, in Jamaica, she is sacred. She is told that she does not have to fear anyone in Jamaica because they're there to protect her. I wish our black women in Jamaica could say that out of their mouth, to say, I am protected. Our men are not protecting our women, but they're offering their protection for this individual. And when she said that, it was confirmed by the person who was taking her around to say, you have nothing to worry about. We will protect you. So there's a lot going on. You can't just judge people who are coming in to do whatever it is that they're doing. Some of our people cannot be reached. Some of them are broken. Some of them just walk around floating like leaf in the wind. You cannot wake them up. You cannot tell them they'll turn on you. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear as the information age approaches and the gathering of intelligence is the most important thing to the world right now. Protect yourself, protect your energy, and protect your offspring. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed.